Bing, bing, bing. We're live. It's Sam and Stella for the Kent Beck Scrum. Here we go. Yeah, Stella, how are things going with you?
I'm working on the issue. You'll probably hear echo because I don't have earphones.
That's right.
Yeah, but I'm a little bit stuck on super admin. I'm trying to update an organization on super admin and it's not updating. Even trying to create a new user who's a super admin, and once I try adding an organization, it's still nil. Yeah. How do we do that?
Did you see my posts in the local support channel? No. Well, no. Let's look at it together at the end of the Scrum. Yeah, I'm sure we can help you with that. Maybe if you want to get the code ready that you're looking at to show me. Yeah, we'll come on to that. I noticed that Mariam is also here. So we've got a block from Stella. Let's just check in with Mariam. Hey, Mariam, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Anything to report?
I was just like working on another application with React components. Also did like some stuff in the NHS wiki. I think we still have to work on the HTTPS thing.
Right.
Yeah. I was wondering if I should do the same thing for the port 483, because that might solve the problem of the HTTPS.
Yeah, I think we'll have to see. Yes, we'll see if we have time. We can maybe look at that together at the end of the Scrum. Yeah.
Or maybe it's not something urgent.
I think it would be a great. It would, one of the reasons we want this set up is so that we can have HTTPS. So it would be great to put it in place and check that it works. Yeah, I mean, it is also kind of understanding. Okay, why did we need this port mapping? Is it something that should have been mentioned in the repo that we were working from, or is it something that we should know to do in Doku? Or anyway,
it's something that should be done with Doku. I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe and maybe not. I mean, there seemed to be because the way you fixed it was using the a Docker command, but there's something about making the application respond to the port environment variable that maybe anyway. All of these things will work out. We can have a little look at it at the end if you've got time. Yeah. Then moving on to me, I had a pairing session with Nick. We went through a lot of local support stuff. Yeah, man, he's getting ready to work on, gosh, what is it? Yeah, kind of filtering out some of the volunteer opportunities so that we don't have ones from outside Harrow. And I was pointing him as well at the Do It API posting failure that we've got. So hopefully we can make some progress on those. Yeah, that was good. I've just been taking the stuff from the lawyer for GDPR and sticking that into the wiki privacy policy and updating there. I can see that there's other things that we're going to need to do, and gosh, there's a lot of work. But anyway, so yeah, that's good progress to have got that. Am I blocked on anything else? I mean, it's very exciting to have unblocked the MediaWiki thing. There is now seeing if we've got a MediaWiki base, can we now build all of the other things that are specific to the NHS Wiki on top of that on Doku? We will see. Yeah, that's pretty much my report. I guess we also had the deep learning mob. That was pretty good. Yeah. So it sounds like Stella's got the most immediate block. Do you want to share your screen, Stella, with the code that you're looking at and what you're trying to do? You're muted at the moment. Go on.
Let me edit myself. So I'll share I had closed that repo, but I can show you what I was trying to do. Okay, the first one was from the console. So our first user. Our first user is a super admin, but the organization is nil. So I tried, okay, can assign this to a variable. Then we say a
Okay.
organization ID to be, let's say the first organization at first. Oh. So it shows that it has, even if we can even save it, but when we look at the value of A, the organization is still nil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that look. So I guess you didn't see my reply to you in Slack. This is sort of the way that I would usually associate an organization with a user, like this. So I mean, the update attributes that you're using is there's quite a lot of typing there. I mean, if I grab, let's find local support. I mean, let me look there, and I do B Rails console, like so. Yeah, right. So I guess you're just working from the console. Yeah. So I guess the broader question you're asking is how do we associate a user with an organization?
Yeah.
So if we come in here and we do like you did, and we say u equals user first, and then we've got u that doesn't have, and then so we could do something like this: user organization is equal to organization first.
I tried that too.
Okay, and then we do save, and then we do u here. So organization ID here is 261.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if that's. I mean, there's also we've got things like pending organization ID that makes this more complicated. I mean, if we reload that, but so, I mean, I think the particular thing that you were trying to do there with that update attribute is you were saying update attributes to you were doing like update. Well, the thing that I noticed in what you just typed out was you did update attributes, and then you did organization ID. You had that as the for this, and then you were passing in the organization. And oh, it's with an S, isn't it? Like so, and there's kind of sometimes Rails kind of handles this thing where you get an object and it wants to pull the ID out of it, but I think probably in order to get that to work, you'd want to do something like this.
Try with the second organization so that we see whether it overwrites the first one.
Yeah, we could try this. I mean, they're like so. Now you. Oh, sorry. Yeah, to do the second one. So yeah, now it's organization ID 262. So I think from what you I think the problem is that what I would say is that I don't know that the update attribute is something I would rarely use. I would just save myself the typing to do this example, and even there it comes down to, I mean, they're all doing the same thing under the hood. Is just do this. And then also it's sort of, I think it's sort of clearer what's happening just from somebody reading that. Oh, okay, we're setting this person to be associated with the second organization.
Yeah. Oh, another way that I had tried was on the seed file. So I added that field, then I did a migration.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that sounds like you shouldn't need to do any migration. I mean, you could be adding things to the seed file, like to have more users related to organizations to begin with. But in the ideal world, you would start with a test. If we go and look at, and in particular, we would sort of look for an existing test place that would be. So if we're in the context of what is this all about? It's events, right? So we're in events. This is about when we look here. See up image show. Does one of these involve creating events? Like ideally, there should be. I mean, I guess these are. I mean, it may be that we don't have the tests for. So we've got this is user visiting the events. Maybe we don't have the kind of test that we should have. I mean, ideally, there's that flow of creating the event, and we would want to have a cucumber high-level acceptance test that walks us through. Right, I'm logged in as a user, and I want to create an event, and so on and so forth. What we would probably find looking through the cucumbers is am I in the right place here? Admin, DevOps, events, organizations. We've got sign in, sign up. I don't know if this is going to have. There's probably the sign up link to org. Here we go. So this is the person getting edit pad. It's not going to help. I was thinking that what we might find is a background thing that creates a user that's already associated with an organization, and that would be the same kind of background thing that you would want to be using. The boom, 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 boom. So organizations have we got? Proposed organizations, map feature, maintain local residents, home button. Yeah, I'm not sure. One would have to look through, but I guess actually, as I think about it, you're starting in the early. You just want to get you're sort of spiking, so you're trying to just get set up with a user that's associated with an organization, and then sort of see how if that user was coming through the events controller at the point at which we're going to where is it? Like we're going to create the event.
Yeah.
There. What is it? No, is it create? We've got new index. Oh no, it's all right. It's the new thing. So at this point, we've created a new event, and so then we've got. Let's have a look. Closed services, views, events. Then we've got the event form, and so at this point where we have the list of organizations, we want to be able to specify the user's organization. So we've got there we go. So kind of, in here we want to look at sort of collection select. How do we specify a default organization ID? Right. Yeah. So you were just looking to get, I guess, set up with a user who had an organization. And then you could go from there.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
You're welcome. Cool beans. Okay, and then I guess we'll hope that goes smoothly there going forward. I guess we've got the issues for the NHS Wiki, which is now working. So I could now just quickly do the steps that would allow us to associate the, a specific address. If we go to MediaWiki Doku, which I've got over here, what am I doing? I'm actually on the, let me control, I've slept that, so, that's annoying. No. I should have logged out on that before. So let's go to a different tab, that'll do it. Okay. So, let's move this window over. What I wanted there and that. Okay, here we go. So on this one, okay, no, actually, right, so it's MediaWiki Doku that we're going from? And this one, okay, and it's worked. Okay, so here git notes minus v. So we can do a domains report on MediaWiki there. And so we want to do, so let's do domains add, and then the app is MediaWiki, and then the place that we want to be is we've got, this is now our develop.hlpwiki.agileventures.org, like that. And so in principle, that is already set up in all the other right places, so we can go in there, and that works. Yay! So that's nice. And so then we've got this process of doing docu let's encrypt, which I always forget the sequence of, but is in principle straightforward. So have we already installed? So I think we need to install that. But okay, so we would need to go to. We have to log into the box here to do that. That's not what I wanted. Let's do. That's not going to help, is it? Yeah, there. So we'll install that, and then so it's almost obscenely simple. It's not going to work, but let's see. Encrypt MediaWiki, like that. We've got to do this first. Right. Oops. Done. And we can also, well, there's the auto renew, but I will. So in principle, now here, interesting. Yeah.
Like, it didn't work at all.
No. I mean, it can be that. No. I mean, we've had here. I mean, it's also, though, it may see it's reset the proxies. So it may be that it, as a result of doing that, what was the? If we do the proxy MediaWiki, have we lost the 5000 port? It's proxy. I don't know. I want proxy ports.
I think it restarted. Yeah.
Like that. Here we go. So then we need the command that you used previously to re-add that, which is proxy ports add MediaWiki and then HTTP 8080 5000. Right. So that, of course, may not fix it because that's HTTP. So do we need to do the same thing for HTTPS? But so this is a different failure than the one that we were getting for. This is just like there's just nothing there.
Should we try with port 443 to be mapped with 5,000?
Yeah, just to look what we've got here. We've got, I mean, it's interesting to me that the 8080 even comes into it. I mean, we've got, yeah, I don't. What have we got here? It's, I mean, is 443 the?
Yeah, it's for HTTPS.
Right. So it seems.
I said if we tried it, maybe it will work.
But so you're saying like do this?
Yeah.
I mean, any change might take. We've reloaded that. So now we've got 443 hitting 5,000. We've got 80. I mean, it's not even clear to me why the presence of the 8080 there would work. The I feel that there's stuff we're not.
The problem now it's not even working for like without HTTPS, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think what's happened, like, so with this Let's Encrypt plugin, what it does is that it automatically redirects HTTP requests directly to the HTTPS. So it's trying to come in through HTTPS only. And so it's, I mean, maybe does it need to redirect from 443 to 8080?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Because in the docs they said that the container is like automatically defaults to the port 5,000.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And it makes sense to me that, like, okay, the container is defaulting to port 5,000. So what's unclear to me though is like the thing that you added was 8080 to 5,000.
I think maybe the 5,000 port wasn't listening at that time, and when we did that, it became, I don't know.
Well, I mean, it seems to me, it makes sense to me that we've deployed it and there's no errors, that it would be running on the container on 5,000. So that seems perfectly reasonable. And that we had said we basically only had these relationships set up.
Yeah.
But what's strange to me is that you added this line, right?
Yeah.
And then it started working, but we weren't going to 8080, we were going to 80. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So that doesn't sort of kind of make sense to me. Like, why 8080? Why shouldn't we be like redirecting 80 to 5,000 in order to connect these two?
Yes. Yeah.
So I just don't. Oh, wait a sec. Look, Docker file deploys. When securing Docker file deploys, Docker looks good. Be aware of the proxy mechanism for Docker 0.6. For Docker file deploys, by default, Docker will determine which ports a container exposes and proxies all those exposed ports in the Docker container by listening on the same port numbers on that host. This means that both the proxies for HTTP port 80 and HTTP 43 need to be manually configured using the Docker proxy ports commands in order for certificate validation and browsing to the app via HTTPS to work. A full workflow creating a new Docker point with Docker script would be create the new app in Docker and push to Docker my host remote. Scott assumes the Docker container will be listening connection on port 555 to replace container port number. On the Docker host, use ports add 80 to 555 to proxy HTTP port 80 to 555 on the image. So we've got. See, I think there what that's implying that we need.
Change the port.
Is that to go to 5,000?
Yeah.
Right.
But they're saying it's 5.
No, it says at the beginning here, it's like this is assuming 555, but replace it with the one that you're using. And 5,000 has already worked for us, so I'm replacing 555 with 5,000. It's then, well, the encryption work is on the, it's then, it's saying that we also need 80, was it 443 to that one? Okay. Okay, after these steps, the output of doxy proxy ports should look like this. It's got, I mean, it says what it wants. It wants a 443 going to 5,000. I mean, it feels like this is like very, very messy. I kind of almost want to remove all of the ports. I mean, I guess I'll just check and see if that works. I assume that it won't. I think that it may be there that it's just like confused about, like, we've got multiple ports. So proxy ports, can I do that? Proxy help. Can I click, like, so proxy ports clear media with
remove. It's remove.
For the individual, like, I think if I can just get rid of all of them. Like, rather than having to individually remove all of them. So let's. So interesting. So that's the default 443 and 80 just with HTTP. Proxy disable, no, ports add, ports clear, ports remove, ports report, ports set. So I kind of, I mean, see, it's saying here that after we've all, the funny thing is like if I add the HTTP one, it doesn't seem to, I guess I can remove this one specifically. So with ports add, MediaWiki, HTTP, and we want, it's saying that 80 should go to 5,000. Boom, boom. So having done that, we now end up with this ambiguity. So I guess, do I have to explicitly remove this one? But now we have that. And then I need to add specifically the HTTPS 443 will go to 5,000. And I even should remove, I mean, to get this is like on the document, it's saying we should remove this 443 thing. And so now we have proxy ports, same as here, except, you know, we're on 5,000 instead of 5,555. So then, okay. But so here, we're now back to this error. Haha.
Oh.
Which you previously fixed by doing HTTP. Like, you fixed it like this by doing this. Right?
Yes.
So we might as well do that for a laugh. And
maybe there is something specific to let's encrypt.
But I mean, the let's encrypt is saying that it should. like it's specifying a sequence of saying that you should do the let's encrypt in a particular order. Yeah, I just don't. I mean, the certificate is sort of set up. I mean, I think we're now. I mean, what would be nice would be some way of checking like what ports these things are running on. Like what I didn't see, and where did I guess did you get the number 5,000 from some?
No, it's from the documentation.
Just that's the standard, right? I mean, it would be nice. So the funny thing is this talks about this container, and it's got ports 80 and 443 open.
Yes, the other one.
I mean, I guess the only other thing that we've, I mean, I'll maybe leave it here, would be to add this one. No. But I'm just confused. I don't know why the presence of the 8080 would make it work when we're going over port 80 anyway.
I think it's not specific to 8080, it's just like when you map the 5,000 with a port, maybe. Yeah. It's like 3 directs to 80. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, like maybe this.
Yeah, it's just random. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the thing it would have been good would be to know exactly what the port settings were before the let's encrypt. I mean, I guess. I mean, the interesting thing now is, can we even get back to a state where, like, if we want to turn the let's encrypt off,
maybe you should try the port that was specified in Let's Encrypt.
The 5555.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that seems. That seems. Well, yeah, certainly could do. I mean, I think I'll just turn it back off for a second, and then we can,
What's the documentation for?
I mean,
the link here.
Yeah, I'll put that in the. Let's find that. Okay, fails for HTTPS, and there's a documentation for that. I can, gosh, let me just remove that. What if we do, there's cleanup. I mean, the certificate said that it's, the certificate said that it's there. Can I revoke media over key? Presumably once we remove it. Okay, that's interesting setting. Now what's that? That's like dumped a load of. I mean, the interesting thing is that the certificate seems to have worked in that, like with this blue page, it's like reporting the link. So it's like the certificate has worked there. Oops, what happened there? Yeah, and now, like, I guess the browsers have, no, that's the wrong thing. Okay. Okay. So that's there back into that territory, but it's still reporting it as being, I mean, it looks like maybe it hasn't been able to decrypt it. And now there, it's removed that. It's got like 80 going to 5,000. Yeah, who knows? I mean, I think the thing that I probably need to break. What I'm going to do is I can give you because I think no, actually you can run you can run all of these Let's Encrypt things and everything. But would you like? I can give you
yeah, SSH access. Maybe.
Yeah, directly to the box, and you can play around. There, if I take that, and then I do nano. Oh, where am I going? Just from here, SSH config authorized keys. That looks like it. Oh, what's happened there? Oh no, no. I'll go and get it from somewhere else. Have I saved it? Yeah, there's definitely something more for us to understand about what these different containers are doing. But it also seems, sorry, like, you know, because when we just deployed the original MediaWiki thing, it just worked. It didn't require a different port setting or an extra thing in place, did it? So
yeah, was it deployed with Docker?
Yeah, it was the Docker file.
Oh.
I mean, not the original, not the main production system, but like the one where it was asking for the local for the configuration. You know, the first one that you were looking at that we deleted yesterday. That one deployed, and we could see the app running in the container. I mean, it feels like this, King Square one with its whatever has done some change around with the ports for whatever reason, and I don't know, that seems to have made it more complicated. And the question to ask is, do we need their stuff, or are we better off without some of it, based on what we're going to do? I got to find your. Got to find your SSH key in a format where I can copy and paste it, and it doesn't break over multiple lines. Let's try again over here. Seems better. Oops, don't do that. Okay, yeah, you could try now. If you do SSH Ubuntu at the box name, you, in principle, you can get in there, and then you can run the docu commands directly without having to do the long thing. And you can also do docker inspect and whatever else you need to do there. I mean, try and keep a record of all the things that you do, so that we have a chance of replicating them. Yeah, can you SSH into that Ubuntu thing? I sent you the exact command.
Yes.
Is that working? That's working for you?
Yes,
yeah?
It's working. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. All right. Well, well done getting that working again earlier, and apologies for me breaking it again. It would have been so lovely if that all just worked. Yeah. Yeah, cool. Anyway, I better go. Yeah, let us know if you work anything out.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. Bye for now. Take care.